All right, today we're going to tackle a concept that's really reshaped the modern business world, business intelligence, or BI for short. We're going to break down what it is, where it kind of went wrong at first, and why it's now more important than ever.
So let's kick things off with a question that, I bet a lot of you have asked yourselves. You're sitting on this absolute mountain of data. So why is it so incredibly hard to get a simple, straight answer? Well, that exact frustration is the whole reason business intelligence was invented in the first place. So what is business intelligence really? Well, at its heart, it's the bridge that connects your raw data to actual useful knowledge. It's best to think of it not as just one piece of software, but as this whole ecosystem of processes and tools. They're all designed to help you make smarter plans that are backed by real data.
Now, if we rewind to the 1990s, BI showed up with this huge revolutionary promise to empower every single employee with what they called self-service access to data. The dream was to completely get rid of the IT bottleneck, right? Anyone could just log in, ask the data warehouse a question, and get an answer right away.
Yeah, but that dream, it pretty much fell apart, and fast. So what went wrong? Well, instead of actually empowering people, these first-generation BI tools just completely overwhelmed them. They were clunky, they were jam-packed with confusing features, and honestly, they were way too complicated for anyone who wasn't a full-time data analyst.
And this complexity led to a massive new problem, something called analytics silos. Basically, departments got so frustrated that they just started buying their own BI tools and building their own little mini data warehouses. The result? Total chaos. You had all these different tools, tons of redundant data, and worst of all, nobody could agree on what the numbers even meant. The sales team's definition of a customer was suddenly totally different from marketing's. It created completely inconsistent views of the entire business. And just how bad did it get? Well, on average, organizations were juggling about 3.2 different BI tools from different companies. Just imagine the cost and the headache of that. This wasn't a single source of truth, it was the exact opposite.
Okay, so if that first attempt was such a mess, what changed? What finally made BI start to work? Well, that brings us to its evolution, the huge shift from clunky, standalone tools to fully integrated platforms.
And the difference is just night and day, really. Those early tools were these complex desktop apps made only for specialists. Modern platforms, on the other hand, are built for everyone. They're intuitive, they're web-based, so you can access them from anywhere, and, this is the most critical part, they're integrated. It's one whole suite, not a bunch of disconnected silos. So everyone is finally on the same page.
And it's because of that massive shift that business intelligence isn't some niche, quirky thing anymore. It's grown up. It has become a totally mainstream discipline, a core function that's just as essential as finance or HR if you want your company to stay competitive. And you can really see the results in the numbers. With these much more intuitive tools, way more people are actually using them. Projections showed that the percentage of employees actively using BI is on track to more than double in just 3 years, jumping from about 18% all the way up to 39%. The tools are finally getting easy enough for everybody to use.
And the payoff for getting BI right is just huge. When you have a mature, company-wide system, it delivers one consistent version of the truth. It saves an incredible amount of time and money, freeing up your data experts from being human data warehouses so they can actually do analysis. It lets you make decisions based on facts, not just gut feelings. And ultimately, it gets the entire business aligned and pulling in the same direction.
This brings us to a really powerful forward-thinking idea. You see, the ultimate goal for BI isn't to have the flashiest dashboard of the most complicated chart. The real sign of success is when BI becomes so seamless, so integrated into our everyday work, that it becomes invisible.
So, I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. What if the very best business intelligence isn't some separate application you have to open and log into? What if it's simply embedded in the tools you already use every day, giving you insights right when and where you need them? What if it just works?
And that's our look at business intelligence. Hey, if you found this explainer useful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the concepts that are shaping our world. Thanks for joining.